I'm a professor of cancer genetics, a recent professor of cancer genetics and surgery at the University of Birmingham. So I have 2 jobs. I work at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham, as a bowel cancer surgeon. But I also work mainly in the university, and I'm a cancer geneticist. And our research in our lab is really trying to take some of the staggering advances there have been in molecular biology and genetics over the last decade and translate them into the clinic. So give you a quick example, one of the things we do are 3D models of cancer. So we now have the ability to grow personalized models of people's cancer within the laboratory. They're called organoids because they look like little organs. And we can grow them into 3 dimensions and work out how they become resistant to treatment. So investment from charitable funding has allowed us to do things like buying a radiator machine that allows us to simulate the effect of radiotherapy in the laboratory rather than have not be able to do this. It's also allowed us to carry out a type of experiment called genome-wide CRISPR, where we knock out every individual gene in an organoid sequentially, and then we can work out what its vulnerabilities are, what its targets are, and we can think of and find new drugs that might be effective in certain types of cancers. We also play a very big role in what are called precision medicine studies. So this means you've heard about them before, and this is where we identify what drug a patient can have by analysing the genetic code of their cancer. And up until recently, this was quite a small area, but it's exploded, and Birmingham really does lead the way in these types of trials across the whole field of cancers, with the people like the clinical trials unit as well, who are instrumental to these. And we carry out a lot of work. There's a recent study that's gone in called Determine, which we want to look at large scale with others. We want to try and improve the treatment of metastatic cancer, i.e. cancer that's spread, by very precisely targeting specific genetic changes in the cancer that will make it sensitive to particular drugs. And the final thing we do as well is we try and individualize treatment. So one of the issues around chemotherapy and radiotherapy is that patients don't always have a good response to it because it may become resistant, or it may be resistant in the first place. And we're trying to develop this for various different tumor types, including one called BRAF mutant colorectal cancer. And this is it's a relatively rare type of colorectal cancer. About 1 in 10 people get it, but it's highly aggressive and difficult to treat. And until recently, we didn't really have any good treatments for it. And so funding like this allows us to really thoroughly investigate that disease type, find new treatments, and hopefully transform the lives of the patients with the science that we find. So the good thing as well about working in the university, and the reason why funders are so important, is because we are one big campus, we're very close to the hospital, we all work as a big integrated team in this institute, and really charitable donations from fundraisers like yourselves go a very, very long way to allowing us to do a lot of the research we wouldn't otherwise able to do. We compete in a limited funding pool, and the generosity of the alumni has allowed us to do research that we wouldn't have done normally, and it's also allowed us to develop the preliminary data which allows us to apply for much larger awards and be part of much bigger collaboration. So I just wanted to say thank you very much.